welcome to the CUWFalcons.com Coaches Show. We're joined today by men's soccer head coach Tom Saleska. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Now your team is off to a 2-1 start. A very challenging non-conference schedule. You have wins over Beloit and Minnesota Morris. The theme of the season so far seems to be defense. You have 3 shutouts going through 5 matches. How would you assess your team's play through 5 matches?
Yeah, that's a good observation. We've been playing fairly well defensively in the first few matches. We have some returning defenders in Jake Barnes and Mitch. We moved Mark Samuel back there. He was more of a forward last year, but he's a sophomore, and he had a little bit of experience in the spring. And then, of course, Jacob Pope. He's, I believe, an all-region returning player, but an All-American candidate back there, and he really helps out the defense. Eric, as a goalkeeper, has done very well. He's a little bit inexperienced, but he's improved dramatically over the past couple of years, and he's picking it up. So he's doing very well. He's had some huge saves and kept us in a lot of the games as well. Very low-scoring games. We're struggling with scoring, but we've been defending pretty well.
I want to talk about Jacob a little bit more. Not many teams have that luxury of moving their returning leading scorer back to defense. And we saw on Sunday a little bit that he still comes up, plays offense from time to time. Is that going to be the plan with him when you need a goal? You're going to move him up or mostly keep him back on D?
It's going to be on the website, right? So the coaches will probably see it. But he's a luxury to have somebody that's big and strong. He's experienced, and he's great with the ball at his feet. And so we want to develop the position in a way that we give him more freedom. Freedom to come forward when he feels he needs to, when he has that opportunity to. On Sunday, we did push him into the midfield. That's not our ideal option, but we felt we had no choice at that time. He came up right away and had an assist on our second goal. It weakens us a bit in the back with what we can do, but you know, it's always when you're coaching, you're shifting the pieces around, you're going to give up something to get something else. So it really is going to depend on the game situation. We'd love to have that luxury, develop even more strength in the back. But for right now, he's going to be our center back.
Well, you mentioned earlier, team has struggled a little bit to score. You got 2 goals on Sunday. When you have scored, 4 of your 5 goals have come from newcomers. 9 of your 14 points have come from newcomers. So it's a talented freshman class. Talk a little bit about them. Jordan Main tied for the team lead with 3 points. Not a newcomer, but Keegan is a sophomore, so very young up front. Just talk about your scoring options, your forwards, mids.
Yeah, we feel like that's a strength of our team, is the guys up top, and we really want to utilize them more than we have in the past few matches. And what's always a struggle every year is to try to find an identity for your team. Last year, it took us a while to find that identity, but we had an outstanding midfield presence. And we've got very good midfielders this year, but we feel like our strength this year is our speed and quickness up top, and we want to utilize that more than we have. And we've got some great goal-scoring capability up there, and every practice is a challenge. We've got some outstanding freshmen and sophomores, great depth, and everybody that we're putting in there is able to perform. And so when we make a change in the starting lineup, it's not because someone has necessarily done badly, but someone has been doing better. And so Jordan, tomorrow, and probably for the game on Saturday, is going to get the starting nod over Gavin, who's been doing very well. But ever since the first day of practice, Jordan has been scoring goals. He has been the surprise for the coaching staff so far this year. And it's this ability to not only get his own shot, but when he shoots, it's in. It's remarkable. In practice, even yesterday, I've stopped saying it to myself that, that I'm surprised that it goes in, because now I'm expecting it. When he shoots, it's in. It's not just on frame. It's low, and it's tough for the goalie to handle. So it's a challenge for Gavin. And I know that he accepts that challenge too, to get time. And it's not because he has done poorly. It's just that Jordan has really excelled up top. And of course, Keegan and Bobby, we expect speed and quickness. We need to get the ball in front of them so they run to the ball. That's where they're strong, and they can take on defenders, make them miss, and get the balls across. And create more goal-scoring chances.
Now we have to mention through 5 matches, talked about him a little bit earlier, Eric Vogel. He has been outstanding in that. 3 shutouts. He had over 320 minutes without allowing a goal. And a kid that kind of came out of nowhere. I know at preseason camp, you and me talked a little bit, and there were 4 goalies that were competing. He's clearly won the job. And just mention him and what he's meant to this
team.
Yeah,
it's an interesting story, too, because, to be very honest, I had not made a decision on who was going to play the first match until the day of the game or the day before the game. And in my own mind, I had been working through the scenario. Do we start Alec? Do we start a freshman, Austin, who's been doing well? Or do we start Eric? And at some point, I reasoned that in the first match, I didn't want to put a newcomer in there who may not have a ton of confidence, especially in an away game, a big game. And Eric's very confident. And so I put him in as the starter, and in the first 10 minutes he made a kick save that I think kept us in that first match. And if he hadn't made that, I really think St. John's would have poured it on. He made that save. We played very well. If we hadn't gone down to 10 men, I think we would have won that game. Or at least tied that game. We would have played better and gone on from there. So yeah, he's had some very good games, and he's got some outstanding players in front of him who have helped him in terms of gaining experience under pressure situations, and that's what he needs.
And fans can stay tuned this week. There's going to be a feature story on Eric Vogel. Now let's get into this week's matches. Certainly the most challenging part of the schedule has to be this week. Number 14, UW Oshkosh comes in here tomorrow afternoon. They played to a tie with St. Thomas, your one common opponent, and they've had 5 shutouts through 7 matches, so can we expect probably a low-scoring match, or what are you expecting from the Titans tomorrow?
Yeah, legitimately 14th ranked in the country, and I believe probably by the end of the year, much higher. They have outstanding talent there from the state of Wisconsin and from Minnesota. So it's a challenge, but we built the schedule in a way to prepare us for what's coming ahead. And so the non-conference schedule, it's great to win those matches, especially what matches at home, because it gets you recognition and so forth, but it really is all about preparation. We want to be prepared for our conference schedule, and that's what this is doing for us, and that's why we schedule teams like Oshkosh. So it's a tremendous challenge, and you'll see that they come at you in waves. And I'm not crazy about the direction of upper-level Division III soccer because it's losing its tactical appearance. And what happens is that these high-level teams are really hammering the ball and chasing and pressuring. And they put you under such tremendous pressure. And then they'll come in with another 6 or 7 guys because they're very deep and do the same thing. So that is the challenge for us, because we won't just see it against Oshkosh. We'll see it in the other teams that we're playing against who are developing that kind of style, and we have to have a response. We don't like to play that way. We like to play the game through our midfield. We like to possess the ball, and we like to, again, quick passes through our midfield, get it into that attacking third and score goals. But we have to respond tactically to what's done against us. And so again, it's a challenge, but we designed our non-conference schedule to play great teams. And we will be playing those teams this week.
It'll be the Falcons and the Titans at 4 p.m. tomorrow from Fitting Field. Fans can follow that game live via audio or stats from CUWFalcons.com. Falcons will begin conference play at Dominican, who was recently ranked number 6. They've since fallen out, but the preseason Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference favorites. Coach, good luck this week, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Come out and see us.